Yeah, as young Africans, we are looking forward for a very nice match to finish up the group stage. And hopefully we will be either number 1 or number 2, depending on the results. But our main ambition this season is to go to the semi-final. We want to see the quarterfinal. We've already reached the quarterfinal, and out of quarterfinal, we would love to go to the semi-final. We want to see the best of the semi-final in CAF Champions League as well. Why not? If we get a chance to go to the final, that will be an addition to our limit as well. A very good question. Why we haven't seen us in the international stage? To be honest, young Africans went through a lot for the past few years. This is the biggest club in Tanzania. It was established in 1935. Actually, 11th of February, we were just celebrating 89 years of Young Africans. So it is the oldest football club, but it's the most football club with a lot of trophies, like Al Ahly here in Egypt, but like Al Ahly in Africa. So Young Africans had all these up and downs for the past few years. Since 2016, we lost one of our sponsors, and he was the chairman of the club, and the club were facing a lot of financial difficulties. And based on that situation, it was very difficult for us to participate strongly in the international platforms. But since 2019, we discovered that we need to bring our club to the best of its position. So we've created a program called Transformation. It's a change of system from the old system of operation to a new system of operation. So we engaged a company called La Liga from Spain. They come and advise us on how the football clubs are run modernly. And based on that transformation, we created a very good structure of young Africans, and this is now a result of the new structure. So for the past few years, we've been doing everything well in the country, but also internationally. Since 2021-22, we were the champions. 22-23, we were champions in the country. We won the FA Cup, we won the Charity Cup, we won the league in 2 seasons in a row. And we went to the final of CAF Confederation Cup. So you will start seeing now the best of young Africans from now onwards, after we have created a very good platform under the transformation. I will say Al Ahly, number 2, Mamelodi Sundowns. Yes.
بيعجبك فريق Sundowns?
I've seen them doing very well. Remember, they're the champions of AFL as well. They're a very strong team. These are 2 teams that I suggest or think or predict they will be the champions of Champions League this season. Now, I think when you start the discussion of VAR, it's something that we as Africans, we need to discuss more about VAR. VAR is something that will help every team, not Al Ahly against Yanga, not Mamelodi against the other team. VAR is something that will help the fairness of football in the continent. But I understand as well there are a lot of challenges when it comes to availability of VAR versus the stadiums and also the cost of having VAR. So CAF has established the level of quarterfinals to have VAR. I'm sure that this season as well they will start from the quarterfinals. But I know it's the plan, long-term plan, whereby CAF can be able to bring the VAR from the group stage. If not group stage, they also need to start from the preliminary rounds. So I'm sure, based on the development of CAF and the way they're doing, with also the initiations of ACA, African Club Association, we would love to see the fairness in football in every level. So maybe from preliminary round, we need to start having the VAR, and then group stage, and then after group stage, then you're talking about quarter-final, semi-final, and the final. But I'm sure it's a plan that CAF is on it, and we as the ACA as well, we will also advise CAF to see if we can be able to implement VAR from every stage of the international competitions. I don't think so. Maybe being positive, I will see that they will start on the group stage, but not on preliminary rounds. Yeah, even in the next edition. But because now they start, the VAR start from the quarterfinals. So I'm sure if they now want to go back, they will come to the group stage. And then when they establish everything, they will go into preliminary. It's going to be a project of the next couple of years, I think so. I totally understand. The VAR is very important. But let's see the mechanism of having VAR on the stadium. You need to have a lot of cameras around the stadium. You need to have the VAR equipment in the stadium installed. So I'm not so sure if CAF can be able to manage all the games in the international competitions to have that facility. But as well as you need also officials, because I'm sure you need like 4 officials in the VAR room that can be able to assist. So it's equipment plus manpower, and I'm not so sure if we have all these in place for all these games. But I'm sure CAF is improving every season, so we will see maybe from the group stage next season, maybe they can have VAR. If you ask me, I want to have VAR from the preliminary round, where everyone can be able to be justified in a correct way and without any issues. If you ask me, the success behind football in Tanzania is the president of the country. She is the one behind everything that is happening in the country. Qualification of national team toward the AFCON tournament in 2023, it's because of our president. She's behind everything. And now Tanzania plus Uganda and Kenya, they've come up with called Umoja bid. It's a bid that will allow us in 2027 to host the African Cup of Nations. And that was actually the plan of our president, Madam Samia Suluhu Hassan. She is the one behind everything that is happening in the country when it comes to success. Young Africans going into the CAF Confederation Cup final, it's because of her. She was supporting us in every stage that we're going. She was also paying bonuses for the players when it comes to every goal that was scored in the tournament. And finally, when we went to the final in Algeria, she gave us her plane from Air Tanzania. She said, no, my team, Young Africans, will go to Algeria under my sponsorship when it comes to the flights. So she gave us a flight to go all the way to Algeria, and the flight was stationed there waiting for us to go back to the country. So if you ask me, a person behind all the success of football in the country is our president, Madam Samia Suluhu Hassan. Yeah, if you're talking about financial issues, it's a #1 problem in every part of the world when it comes to football. If you ask us, there are 2 actually support that we're getting as a football club financially. #1 is under sponsorship. So we have sponsors that are supporting us financially to make sure that we cover some of our costs. But #2, we have a very strong system of membership. So the Young Africans has members, and these members, they're paying their membership fees, and the membership fees assist the club to move around, travel across the continent, pay salaries for the players, pay salaries for the technical staff. And I'm taking this opportunity to congratulate our members and fans in the country who are paying their membership fees to support their club. There is no way we can build a strong team if we don't have a financial muscles to cover our costs. So I take this opportunity to appreciate the sponsors of Young Africans, SportPesa, main sponsor, GSM as our kit and manufacturers and distributors across the country, Wismo, one of our sponsors, Afia Water, one of our sponsors, and Azam Media, which is one of the strong media companies that support us as well in the country. So I take this opportunity to appreciate our sponsors and also the supporters who are also paying their membership fees. The strongest issue that I was facing is when I became the president of the club. Everyone was considering me as the youngest president, running the oldest football club in the country. So it was very difficult for everyone to see that this young boy, can he be able to run the club? This is the oldest football club and he's a young president. So to be honest, how did I come back and beat what people were thinking about me and the challenges that I was facing as a young president was to deliver and do the best for our club. In the past 2 seasons where I became the president of the club, we won 6 trophies, 2 League Cups, 2 FA Cups, 2 Charity Cups, and I took the team to the CAF Confederation Cup final for the first time. And I also, this time around, after 25 years, we took this club to the Champions League quarter-final. So to be honest, the challenges was, trust on people with regards to the oldest football club versus the youngest president who runs the club. Young Africans, like I said, is the oldest football club. We are 89 years of age. A number of players have been participating in our club from the start of the establishment of this club, and I take this opportunity to appreciate all of them. They've done a magnificent job to make sure that this club celebrates. Now we are sitting at 29 league cups. It's the history of the country. It's a record in the country as well. Number two is sitting at 22 league trophies. So we have 29 trophies in our cabinet. And I take this opportunity to appreciate all the players that pass through the club and support and donate their blood and sweat to make sure that this club performs well. And I also take this opportunity as well to appreciate the leaders that passes through the club, and they've done a great job. Dr. Mshindo Mbete Sola, you've done a great job. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity as well to become the president of Yanga, and I appreciate everyone around, the support of Mr. Ghalib Said Mohammed, who is as well as his company GSM, supporting this club and take this club to the next level. And everyone is happy now in the country because of them, because of our sponsors, because of the hard work that has been put place in the executive committee of Young Africans under my leadership. Yeah. Being a chairman of ACA, it's a new initiative from the president of CAF, Dr. Patrice Motsepe. He came up with an idea of having clubs coming together as one, discuss about their issues, find solutions. That is number one under ACA. But number two, under ACA, he also have an idea of having someone from the clubs coming into the executive committee of CAF and brought forward the issues of football clubs across the continent. So I am sitting in two positions. Number one position is to sit and analyze the club issues across the continent. But number two is to provide a voice of clubs in the CAF executive committee, which is the head or decision-making body of football in the continent. So to me, it's the biggest obligation, and I'm ready. I've got energy to do that, and I'm ready to do that as well. Oh yeah, the role that we are playing is, number one, to sit as football clubs across the continent. So how the ACA works. So ACA under CAF has 6 zones. East zone, which is called Sekafa, and then there's a zone of South Africa which is called Kosafa, and then there is West Africa, 2 zones, Wafu A and Wafu B, and then there's a central part of Africa which is the 5th one, and then the north part of Africa. So all these 6 zones of CAF has 2 representation, whereby Al Ahli has 1 from the north. Your vice president is also a member of the board. So we have 12 members of the board, plus 3 members of the board are coming from the women's team, so total of 15. These 15 board members, they are sitting representing their zones, coming up together and brought issues that are facing the clubs in their respective zones, and be able to be discussed on the board of directors of ACA, looking into issues, finding solutions, and come together as all the clubs in Africa under one voice. So the biggest role is to make sure that we sort out issues of football clubs across the continent. That is the biggest issue. To be honest, there's a lot of tournaments coming around, and for me, we are here for football. We want to play. There is no way we can run away from the tournaments. The most important thing is to create a very conducive environment for these tournaments to be happening, in terms of sponsorship, in terms of travels, in terms of logistics and everything. That is the biggest issue. For me, playing tournaments or participating in tournaments, it's not a major issue. My issue is, how are we making these tournaments successful? This is the thing that we need to discuss.
صح ولكن في نفس الوقت هناك يعني مسافات كبيرة جدا ما بين الدول الإفريقية مثلا غير الدول الأوروبية، وبالتالي من الممكن في أوروبا أن أنت تزود عدد البطولات، ولكن في أفريقيا الأمر صعب.
You're very right. You're very right. The issue here, like I said, it's not the issue of tournament. It's the issue of logistics, the issue of sponsorship, the issue of timing as well. So these are the matters that we as leaders, we need to sit, analyze and make plans for the same. But we're not here to run away from the competitions. We can be able to create a very good platforms when it comes to travels. We can make a very good deal when it comes to sponsorship, where the players can even charter instead of going into these commercial flights. So if the sponsorship package is very good, they can be able to travel from the country straight to the destinations. How long is from Egypt to Tanzania? You're talking about 5 hours. In the country, you can even take a bus and travel for 5 hours as well, within the country. So the issue is not participating in tournaments. The issue is to create a better platform for the clubs to travel well, have a proper plan of logistics, and that can only be done if we have a proper sponsorship and planning.
هل يمكن إلغاء أي من هذه البطولات؟
For me, no, I'm not running away from the competitions. I want to play soccer. I want to give fans a joy. I want to make them feel that they have players that they can participate in tournaments and give them happiness. Football brings people together. We cannot run away from playing soccer, and that's not my idea. It's a very good tournament. Like I said, it's only about football. In African Super League, we're only playing football. In CAF Confederation, we're playing football. In CAF Champions League, we're playing football. In AFCON, we're playing football. In CHAN, we're playing football. I am very happy to have as much tournament as we can, but we have to make sure these tournaments are properly planned, and in terms of financials, in terms of logistics, and in terms of timing. I am very happy to participate in any of the football tournaments that are coming forward. To be honest, that is the most successful tournament that we have ever seen in the continent. I take this opportunity to congratulate CAF under Patrick Motsepe, the president, for the hard work that I've done. I take this opportunity to congratulate the government of Ivory Coast. They've done extremely well. I was there for the opening. It was properly planned. People were so excited to see the tournament happening in Ivory Coast. And Ivory Coast have done very well to make sure that they fulfill every part of the Africa in terms of giving us a proper football. CAF, they've done very well in terms of arrangements, in terms of logistics, in terms of timings of the games. Everything was perfect. And to be honest, this is the most successful AFCON that I've ever witnessed. Yeah, everyone we're so excited actually to host the AFCON. Our president is so energetic. She's ready for the AFCON, and she has actually dedicated 3 cities actually for the tournament. You have Dar es Salaam, you have Arusha, and you have Zanzibar, the island of Zanzibar. The government under Madam Samia Suluhu Hassan is going to build 2 new stadiums for the same before 2027. One stadium in Arusha and one stadium in Zanzibar. And she's also she has already actually made a contract to renovate the main stadium in Dar es Salaam as well, to make it one of the best, maybe for the opening or maybe for the final of AFCON. So we are ready for that. The country is very ready. We as football clubs are also very ready to host whoever that is coming, providing us with our facilities, our training facilities, and all the logistics. But also Tanzania has a very good environment for tourism as well. We are taking this opportunity to make sure that people who are coming to our country are hosted very well, make sure that they also enjoy the stay in Dar es Salaam, and also see our best part of the country when it comes to tourism and other. You know, we have Zanzibar Island, it's the best island in the continent. We have Serengeti National Park, we have Ngorongoro Crater. We have also Mount Kilimanjaro, which is the biggest mountain in Africa. So all these are the potential areas that people are coming for AFCON. They will also have time to see the beauty of the country. I can say proper investment. We as African countries, we have to be ready to invest. Talking about all levels, from the government level to the private sector, everyone should be ready to invest We have seen the likes of Morocco. We've seen the likes of Egypt. You guys have done very well in terms of investment, and all these investments are giving you results. See what happened to Morocco in the World Cup. They've done very well in their country to establish all the investments. You're talking about infrastructure, stadiums, academies, and everything. And end of the day, they have the best players coming from the academy. And finally, when they went for the World Cup, you've seen. So there's nothing magical. We have to invest in football so that we get the best out of football. If you ask me, Mohamed Salah was almost being one of the best players in the world. He was, I think, number 3 sometimes back. And for me, it's the biggest credit for the African continent and the likes of Mohamed Salah. Like I said, I'm a Liverpool fan, and he's doing very well. We have seen also a number of players. Samuel Atoa have done very well as well for Africa. Didier Drogba. We have seen Aubameyang doing very well as well. But we've also seen the likes of George Weah, who has done magnificently well when it comes to international platforms. But now we have seen the other boys coming up. You have seen a player from Ivory Coast, the young boy who plays for Ivory Coast national team, and he was doing very well as well. Now he's in England. So we've seen all these young boys coming up, the boys from Senegal who are playing for Tottenham Hotspurs, and to be honest, we have potential players that will be doing very well in the next few years. And unlucky for Mohamed Salah, I don't see him coming back again to be the best player in the world. I mean, to be number 1 in the world, because by the time he was doing very well, we had the likes of Messi and Ronaldo. So for me, those are at the other level. So, but Mohamed Salah was one of the best. I mean, to the top 3. And maybe after Messi and Ronaldo's era moved away, we can be able to have a position in the top 3 as well. Maybe number 1 if needed be in the next few years. Number 1, I would like to congratulate him for the hard work that has been put in place. Al Ahly has been an institution, one of the icon football club in the continent. We know that Al Ahly is the club of the century. Being a chairman of that club of the century, he is doing very well. He must be in his top performance to make sure that he maintains the same. Al Ahly is the current champions of Africa. So being a chairman of the club, which is the number 1 club in the continent, it's something that is a special thing. So I take this opportunity to congratulate him for the hard work that he's doing, but also the management of Al Ahly. It's something that we cannot run away from. We as young Africans would love to come and learn from Al Ahly, the way they operate, the way they are strong in terms of all the departments that are engaged with the football club. And we look forward to meet him as well, the chairman, in the next few days, to see if we can be able to create partnership with Al Ahly and make a platform for my department as well in young Africans to learn from the best. I am very positive on what is happening with Al Ahly, and we're ready to learn from them, and we congratulate the chairman as well. Yes, actually this morning I went to the Pyramid of Giza. I had an opportunity to visit the Pyramid of Giza, and it's something that it's iconic, where you can be in Cairo, you can be in Egypt without visiting the pyramid. So I took my wife and I to the pyramid this morning, and I look forward to visit the museum as well in the next few days before I go back to my country. So thank you very much for hosting us. Egypt has been doing very well for us, and inshallah we're going to have a very good game on Friday, the game that will create a football environment for everyone. We have some few fans coming from Tanzania that are present here in Egypt. They have, some of them are students, they are studying here. Some of them, they're living here for other, living activities here in Cairo. I take this opportunity to invite them all to come to watch the game. It's going to be a nice game and everyone will enjoy end of the day.
أنا اللي بشكرك شكرا جزيلا، والحقيقة أنا سعيد جدا بهذه الانترفيو اللي احنا عملناه، لأنه هيرسي واحد من رؤساء الانديه وصغير في السن وعارف يتكلم، بيعمل يعني ما هو قادم للمستقبل بالنسبه للقاره الافريقيه وبالنسبه لتنزانيا. اعتقد ان هو سيكون جيد بوجود هذا الرجل المحترم الحقيقه. اتمنى له طبعا التوفيق، ولكن ان شاء الله ربنا يكرمنا ونكسب احنا يوم الجمعه ان شاء الله ونتصدر. ونتصدر.
Thank you very much. I appreciate. شكرا جزيلا. جزاك الله خير.
جزاك الله كل خير. شكرا جزيلا. هيرسي علي سعيد رئيس نادي يانج افريكانز ورئيس رابطه الانديه الافريقيه وعضو اللجنه التنفيذيه في الاتحاد الافريقي. اشكرك شكرا جزيلا على تواجدك معنا، شرفتنا ونورتنا.